Okay, this is the main frame of the drone. It basically consists of the 6 arms, the 6 motors, as you can see. On the outside, at the back, on the left side, you have the flight lights, which on the left is going to be red. The back will be green. On the front, you have another LED light strip, which are bright white lights, which act as like headlights. The front of the drone is where the white reflector tape is. The back of the drone is where the red reflector tape is. This red piece here is a cover covering the flight control board. It's very important you do not remove this or install anything on top or put any pressure on top of this. It's not to be removed. Inside the drone, you'll be able to see the wiring and the circuitry and whatnot, and that's by design. It's great to keep it cool, to have it open like that. On the back of it, you have the main battery connector. Included in the box, there'll be another connector you can plug into here, which will allow you to connect to 2 batteries. These 2 wires sticking out the side, it's very important not to cut them, trim them, or impede them in any way. These are actually the antennas for the receiver. So it's important that they remain basically where they are and leave them as they are. On top, you have 2 Velcro strips. These Velcro strips are used to physically attach the batteries to. On the underside of the drone, you have your 2 main mounting legs. These are what the skids are actually going to be connected into, that I'll show you in a moment. These 2 rails are the main flight rails that hold the frame together, and this is also where you'll be clipping the speakers and then mounting the 2 spotlights or headlights that go on the front of the drone. On the underside of the drone, you'll notice on each arm there's a little box. These boxes are the speed controllers. It's basically like the fuel system for a car, but only electronic in this case. They do get quite warm, and they have been waterproof to a degree where they're water resistant. They will take a little bit of water, but you would not want to submerge this for any length of time in water. But certainly if it gets wet, you should be okay. You'll notice there is a film on the drone. If you were to take your finger and rub it inside, you might actually notice a liquid come off. That is by design. That's called Corrosion X, and that's a special spray that's been applied to the inside of the drone, to the circuitry, and to the LED strips to add waterproofing. It's very important not to remove that. Next thing you want to do when you get the drone out of the box is attach the skid. The skid's basically made up of 2 parts. It's the crossbar on the top, and then the main mounting bar that runs up the center. This foam on top is to add for buoyancy and to give a little bit of substance to put on some of the tie wraps where you can mount equipment and use to harness wires and cables. This is also a removable tie wrap that you can use to attach different cables to it, or just use it for cable management or adding a light or whatever you want to do to it. To add the skid to the drone, you simply plug the arm into the bottom of the drone. You'll notice there's a nut on one side, and what comes with it is a screw, which would go in on the other side, and there's an included Allen key that you would use to tighten that screw. So you're basically simply putting these legs in like this. You might have to hold this foam rubber up a bit. Okay, and then you're just going to take it and put it in. The holes will line up. You can see the nut right there. Screws on the other side. Screw holes on the other side. And you're going to take the screw and just simply screw it in there using the Allen key to tighten it up. That'll put the skid on the drone. Once the skid's on the drone, the next thing you're going to want to do is add the blades. To add the blades, what you're going to do is find the arm that has the tie wrap around it. There's an arm here, you tie wrap right on the front. And then included there are 6 blades. You'll notice on one of the blades there's a tie wrap in the center of the blade. It's important that this this blade goes onto this motor. So the way you're going to do that is simply cutting the tie wrap off. You're going to take the nut off the top of the motor. take the blade. It's pretty easy to tell where the top and the bottom is. The smoother surface is the top of it. So put the blade on like so. You'll notice a little silver gasket on some of the motors. Other motors will have black. You're simply going to take this, put it on top, take the nut, screw it down, take the same Allen key. It's important to screw these on tight. Take the same Allen key, put it in the hole of the motor, and then you can turn the blade and tighten it. And that's how you put one blade on. What you want to do next is you'll notice there's 3 blades that shape this way and 3 blades that shape the opposite way. So it depends on the camera view. You can see that these blades have opposing angles to them. So it's important that these are alternating as you put them on. So this blade will go on this motor, this opposing blade would go on this motor, and then so on. And then you'd rotate that all the way around. And then this blade here, which is the same as, let me get one here, that's the same as this one, but then go on this one. So every other blade is different. Okay, stop.